The following is paid programming.
It's time to talk taxes.
New friends, new opportunities, new partners. EG Tax.
It's Ask the Tax Lady with Esther Gulius and EG Tax on News Radio 930 WBEN. To reach Esther now, call 803-0930. Toll free at 1-800-616-9236. And cell calls are free at star 930. And now, live from the WBEN studios, it's Esther Gulius.
Hey, everybody, this is the Tax Lady. We got 2 days left to effect something for your 2023 tax return. Otherwise, we're looking at 2024. And I just want to wish everybody a Happy New Year. And I'm joined in studio with my buddies, Tiffany Fabian. Hey, Tiff.
Hey, happy Saturday to you.
Happy Saturday to you, and Christopher Fabian.
Hello, Esther.
Hello, Christopher. Okay, so I'm going to ask everybody. Do you have a I know everybody, this time of year you can see everybody's with the weight loss stuff. Every TV ad is like weight loss stuff. But do you have any resolutions that you're going to do, that you want to change for 2024, that you're looking at? Or maybe some things that you're sad about that you think you could have done better, maybe some regrets, or maybe some hopes for 2024. So if you do, it doesn't have to be a tax question. You can give us a call in studio, 803-0930, 803-0930, star 930 on a cell phone. You can text us at 716-803-0930 because, new beginnings are kind of a good thing. It does give you kind of a fresh start. You can take a look at what you've done in the past, and you maybe say, maybe we could do better. Do you guys have any regrets or resolutions or things that you hope for 2024?
Oh, well, I would like the Bills to make it to the big dance.
Amen.
That's what I would.
Is that your big hope?
Well, health and happiness, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I'm going to use my beauty pageant answer. World peace.
Oh, come on, Chris. Well, I mean, world peace would be a wonderful thing, though, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. But
yeah.
no,
Yeah,
I mean,
like it's so sad what's going on in Israel and the
Ukraine.
Palestinian thing. I mean, it's so, and at any point in time, it could turn into something that would come to our shores. We are so spoiled in this country because nothing bad has ever come. I mean, you look at the devastation, you think, oh my God, these people used to have homes and now they don't have homes. Mm-hmm. I mean, that kind of stuff. But yeah, world peace would be. But do you have any regrets, like last year? Like you made a resolution and you didn't keep it?
well, I would say putting the weight back on that I lost prior. But I think that's a lot of people.
But it was so much fun to do, wasn't it?
Put the weight back on? Yeah, thanks, Gracie.
That is true. Their daughter bakes nonstop. It's a terrible thing, really.
At home, she's baking right now. She's baking,
and she won't eat it.
No,
I mean that's really is sad. Sometimes it'll be tax season. You go in the kitchen and you're starving to death because you haven't eaten anything for lunch, and there are all those darn cookies, and
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, gosh, what's a regret? A regret. Well, like you said, putting the weight back on. I'm so glad that COVID, more or less, is in our rear view mirror.
But now, haven't you seen? Now, I've had a lot of friends that have come down with COVID the last month or so.
Yep, we're in the yellow.
I mean,
again.
not like to die COVID, but COVID, right?
Yeah. It's a mind-boggling thing. I'm also a nurse practitioner, and one of my patients yesterday was in the hospital because she has COVID and she couldn't breathe very well. So it's just changed the landscape of our world.
Yep. Well, I'm thankful for. I'm just thankful for people. I'm there's so many great people. I know I've been helping this couple that kind of live next door to me, and they were going through an alcohol thing, and I really feel blessed that I was able to help them because they came over one night and she says, I hate him, he's a drunk, and anyway, but I've been able to help them. That was a wonderful thing to be used to help people, right?
Yep, most definitely. All
right, so do you have a regret, a resolution, a hope that you'd like to share with us? 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone, 716-8030930. I mean, we can always talk taxes. We're going to talk taxes, but I just thought, this being the day before New Year's Eve, where maybe tomorrow night you're going to be at a party and you're going to forget all about this, and on New Year's Day you kind of forget about it. But, is there anything that has touched your life? And we have Mike from Wheatfield who's been waiting. Hey, Mike, how can we help you?
Okay, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Okay, no resolutions, but I have some tax questions.
All right, we can do that too.
Okay. What is the retirement savings contribution credit? How does it work? Who qualifies for it? Is a credit different than a deduction? And do you
Oh
have
my
to
gosh,
itemize
it
to get
really is. And actually, Tiff, you're a big person that loves that credit, right?
Yeah, it's a great credit. And so that's if you put money into your 401k from your employer, or if you put money into an IRA,
Either a Roth or a traditional.
a Roth or a traditional. And so you can't be a very high income earner. I think if you're a single person, you can't make more than like $55,000 to get the credit. If you're a married couple, you can't make more than, what do you think? Married couple, 75,000, something around there.
But the thing is, it phases out, and
Yeah.
a credit, Mike, is money that they actually give you in your pocket. So if you got $1,000 credit, you actually save $1,000, and the credit is 50% of the first $2,000 you put away into the pension plan,
But that's different
whether
than
it's IRA or a Roth or a 401k at work. And so basically, it would be like them saying, today we're giving a 50% interest on your money. And that's kind of what it is. They're going to give you 50% if you're in a lower income and you put your money into some type of pension plan.
Okay, but is this for people who are not retired then? Yeah.
You got to be
Correct.
working.
Or working part-time and retired.
Right.
Okay. Do you have to itemize to get this?
No.
No.
No, it's a credit.
Nope, you don't have to itemize to get it. And so a lot of people, too, you can wait until 3 months into the new year to put money into an IRA. And so a lot of people will have us run the numbers and see if maybe they'd qualify for the retirement savers credit if they put money into an IRA. And it can reduce your taxable income, which is really good if maybe you're on the market exchange for health insurance, or if you're worried about your, a Social Security, Medicare tax. So
it not only gives you a credit, it reduces your taxable income. It can increase your earned income credit. So it is quite a thing. Now, many times when I'm doing a tax return, I'll say to somebody, have you thought about putting money into an IRA? And most people say, I don't have that kind of money. And I say, well, how would you like it if you put $2,000 away that I can get you an extra $1,300 because of the earned income credit, the reduction in tax liability, and state of New York. You put in $2,000, we give you $1,300. They go, what? And that's the way that credit works, and it's remarkable. So if you're a lower income person, you almost can't afford not to do it.
So a deduction is that it just
Reduces your income.
Your taxable income. Right.
And the taxes on that. But this actually comes off. Say if you got a $100 tax credit or
then that would be gone. So if you got a $100 credit, it saves you $100. If you got a $500 credit, it saves you $500.
Much better than a deduction.
Much better. Yep.
Right. Okay.
You
thank
got
you
it.
very much.
Thanks, Mike.
Happy
Good
New Year.
question. Happy New Year. I know we have Polly holding, but we're going to take a short break. 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. You can call us with your resolutions, your predictions, your regrets, your hopes. I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady. We're going to be right back with your comments on the other side.
We are family. I got all my sisters with me.
Hey, to us, you are family. And we want to make sure that if we can cut that 2023 tax bill, you got 2 days to do it, day and a half to do it. And we're looking at 2024 in the face here. If you have any predictions, resolutions, hopes, regrets, you want to share it with us, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. Wanted to go back to that pension savers credit. You have to be over the age of 18. You can't be claimed as dependent on anybody's return. You can't be a student, and the credit is 50% of the first $2,000 you put in. If your adjusted gross income is under 43.5 and you're filing joint return, 32,625, and you're head of the household, 21,750 for everybody else. But it goes all the way up to 73,000. It phases out. If you're joint, 54,750 head of the household, and 36,500 single. It's a great thing. It's a credit, and it's a great thing.
Yeah,
Right, and
I've amended a few returns who have neglected to do it. What, Chris?
Right.
I was going to feed off of Mike as well. With like your example, you told somebody, you put away $2,000. The government will give you $1,300 extra in a refund. That means your IRA contribution is only costing you $700.
Right?
I mean,
but you could go. I've told people, not that you'd want to, but if you put $2,000 away, you save $1,300 in your tax return. You can go to the bank the day after and take out the $2,000, and you still get the $1,300. Then next year that $2,000 becomes taxable income, but you're in the 10% tax bracket, and so you pay back $200. I mean,
right.
It's like, duh.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. It's a
Okay.
win-win.
It's a really win-win. Okay, and we got Polly. Hey, Polly, how can we help you?
Hey there. Wow. I'm trying to follow what you guys were just talking about.
You
That's
think
over
it's hard for you. Think about us.
Oh, my. Real quick, though, I got to say, I would not take Solace or whatever, be too comfortable that COVID's in our back rear view mirror.
That's true.
Only because it worked too good for the global to change the world on
Yeah.
a global stage. If you think about anything that's ever happened in our history, that's like changed everywhere. They did the same things in Iran, as America, as France, as the whole, worldwide.
Lights
Right.
out.
You're
yeah.
absolutely right, Polly.
Yeah, and real quick too, we got a Peter McCullough, Dr. Peter McCullough, who was born in Buffalo, Texas now, and he had a great basic protocol for anybody getting the COVID again. Basic stuff. Some of it you can buy over the counter, but including aspirin
Zinc.
and then basic bronchodilator, vitamin D, which everybody should take through the winter, extra zinc and C, and it's probably scrubbed. But he had a basic, easy protocol.
Yeah.
And now we got adults getting RSV, but
Yeah.
I have a feeling we're going to we haven't seen the end of
No.
either this or something new. Yeah.
Yeah,
But you're
it
absolutely
has
right,
changed
Polly.
the landscape of our global world. That's
Oh, my
for sure.
God. We still got plexiglass
Oh, yeah.
up in
yeah.
the stores, and, stores still have different hours, and, because of it. And, yeah,
No, you're
it's
right.
changed.
You're right. So you got resolution for 2024?
Yeah, to stop procrastinating. Okay, quick question, and I know you guys explained this to me before, but, okay, my son's starting a new job, and for his W-2, my daughter got just $100 back from the IRS, and she didn't bother to do her tax return, I should say. And she was like, no, because now they want your photo ID or something like that. So she's like, I'm not going to bother. But now my son's starting to, and you explained she should do, if they don't offer IRA, I forgot what it was, take a little bit out extra so that you're not cutting it close. I have a feeling anybody, even if you owe $5 to the IRS, it's going to be trouble. A headache
No, it's
for
not,
people.
though, Polly. You can owe up to $1,000 and there's no penalty. So, but the thing is, there's only a penalty if you can't pay the $1,000 that you owe them, or $500 or $400, because then they assess you penalty for failure to pay. But up to the $1,000, there is no, as long as you can pay that liability on the due date of the return, April the 15th, there's no penalty. So I don't want people to be afraid of owing unless they are going to be unable to pay. So that's the conundrum right there. So you want to make sure that you don't send them too much money. Like, for instance, they were touting this week that people are going to get more money in their paycheck. Well, that's kind of a win-lose situation, because if you get more money in your paycheck, that's less withholding. And that all works for you, provided that extra money you're getting in your paycheck is not going to reduce your withholding next year, so that you have a larger tax liability and you're unable to pay. So just because they gave you extra money doesn't mean that you should be glad about it. Many people might want to adjust their withholding to make sure that they don't owe.
Right. Well, okay. So now my son's starting a new job, and he's got the option to do 0 or 1. Because I know you explained you used to be able to say, oh, I'm plus an extra $20 a week or
you
whatever.
Can still say that. You can still say that on the new W4.
But you can't do 0 or 1 anymore.
But you can't do, right.
Except for on the state, you can.
Right.
So he would do single and then maybe do some extra withholdings depending on how much he's going to make a year.
But he can. And I think the best thing, Polly, is to have him give us a jingle, and we'll help him fill out his W-4.
And then, Polly, I want to say, tell your daughter she should do her return, because it's $100 in her pocket, and tell her we'll do her tax return for like $50, and she just has to show us her ID, and we don't have to enter it in the computer.
Right,
so
that's correct.
So tell her we'll do her return for $50, and she shouldn't leave that $100 on the table.
Right. Why give a nickel to Uncle Sam?
Yes,
That's right.
It's supposed to be yours. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell her to give me a call.
We just thank you, Polly, for giving us a call, and we hope you have a wonderful and blessed New Year.
God bless you guys.
All right, thank you, Polly.
Love
Happy
your
New
show. You guys
All right.
are awesome.
I'm Esther Gullius, the tax lady, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. You can text us at 716-8030930. So I talked about getting more money in your paycheck. So it's like a win. It could be a win-lose. If they're giving you more up front, it means that they don't have that withholding. That all works, provided that reflects your actual refund or balance due next year. So, especially if you have your taxes done professionally, make sure when you talk to your professional that you make sure that this change in your withholding is going to cover your liability for the next year.
Right. That's
Right, guys?
exactly right. That's absolutely right.
Okay, so we have some texts, right?
Yeah. The first one is my hope is peace on earth. And then there's a Tracy Holding too. And it says, text, Happy New Year and thank you for your show. I listen every week. I turned 65 this year, and I've realized by listening to you that it's time to get a life estate in 2024 and make it easier for my family in the future.
And that's really true. Unfortunately, there's, to just be frank, there's no other way out of this earth except by passing away. And if you love your family, you want to plan for the future so that they don't get stuck with a mess around them when you do pass away. It was interesting. One of my girlfriends yesterday called and said she just found out that her husband had unclaimed funds in the tune of $25,000. And she said, well, how could that be? And I said, because what happens when you get older, many times you're so secretive about what you have, you don't tell anybody what your assets are. And so after you pass away, that bank account, you're not there anymore, and that money gets sent over to the state where it's unclaimed funds, and the only way you can get it is to go and apply for it. So you want to make sure, and we have this wonderful thing on our website. It's called, what is it called? A letter
of intent.
Yeah. So if you go to our website under retirement or Social Security planning, there's something called Letter of Intent, and you can download that. You don't have to show anybody, but keep it in something that maybe you tell your son or daughter if something happens and you go in the junk drawer here, this is a letter of intent. It tells you where all my things are so that it doesn't end up being unclaimed funds.
That's right.
And
Yep.
if you haven't looked at it, go online, see if you have unclaimed funds.
Yeah, because it's not like you're going to get any notification from the government that you've got money there. You've got to do your work. And
That's
so
right.
some people miss it, you know?
That's right.
Yep.
I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on his cell phone. We got Tracy who's been holding. Hi, Tracy. How can we help you?
Hello, thanks for taking the call and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Thank you so much. And I do actually have now 2 questions for you as I'm listening while holding. One, for someone who has never taken advantage of the Pension Savers Credit and they want to do so literally today, what is the easiest, most hassle-free way to take advantage of it as of today in terms of where can we throw $2,000 in
Okay,
an
so-
online account today?
All right. Well, first of all, you can't throw it on today. But the great thing is you have till April the 15th to put the money into the qualified IRA or IRA if you qualify. And then
So
you
I
kind
want
of
to
retro, you
stop
get,
and reiterate. So what Esther just said, for your 2023, the government will give you 3 extra months to earmark the money for 2023. So you've got 3 months left to do it, Trace.
so you have time.
Okay.
So you don't have to do it today. You can still make yourself available for the Pension Savers Credit up till April the 15th.
Why can't I do it today?
At an online bank, couldn't she do it today at an online bank? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. What do you think, Chris?
Because first of all, there's all these, we're dealing with the federal government. So there's all these restrictions based upon your income and if you have a qualified pension plan. So I would not want you today, based upon a radio show, for you to tie up money into an IRA that you aren't qualified to do, number one. Number two, that the
3
Pension
months.
Savers Credit isn't going to work for you
We're-
because of all these restrictions.
We're going to put you
And we
on
got to
hold.
take a short break. I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930. We'll see you on the other side of the news.
Family. I got all my sisters with me.
Hey, to us, your family. I'm Esther Golias of EG Tax, and we're going to talk for a minute about when our offices open. When do all of our branch offices open, you guys?
January 15th, they all open 9 to 9, Monday through Friday, Saturdays 9 to 5, and even our McKinley Mall office is opened on Sundays.
All right,
So-
and the IRS, though, isn't open until the 22nd. So if you're somebody that's anxious to get your tax return in, they're not taking any electronic filing till the 22nd. If you mail it in, you're shooting yourself in the foot because that's the last thing they process is a tax return through the mail. So you want to get in. If you have all your things together, then we can get you in line first. As soon as the IRS, they kind of let us sneak in some tax returns in advance, but then as soon as they're open, boom, we'll send it in. But the other thing is you want to make sure that you're doing your return complete and accurate, because if you've left something off like a W-2 or unemployment, you're going to have to amend the return, and that'll hold everything up.
Yep. You want to finish, Tracy?
Yeah.
Tracy.
Oh, okay, Tracy. So that's it. So the thing is, there's nothing easy in tax law. I wish there were, but there's all these things like maybe you don't qualify to put money into an IRA because you have a qualified pension plan at work. So there's all these caveats. There's nothing easy with tax law. The important thing is call us on Tuesday, and we'll see if you qualify. Then you can do it Tuesday afternoon, and when you do your tax return for 2023, you'll already have that in there.
I see. May I ask one more ancillary
Of
question?
course.
Okay. If I theoretically made $16,000 from August to today in 1099 work, what is the best way to minimize my tax burden?
All right, so
for
if you're doing a
2020?
1099, means you're self-employed, so you're going to do a Schedule C. Your Schedule C can then reduce the gross income that you got by the expenses you incurred to produce that income. What kind of work did you perform?
It's online and requires privacy. So part of my house, the internet, the computer, that type of thing.
All right. So if you have a room that you use exclusively for the production of income, you'd qualify for an office and home. Part of your internet bill, part of your maybe printer, computer, things of that nature, office supplies, cell phone maybe if you're using it for business, any certification that you might have incurred. All of those things will reduce the $16,000 so that you don't pay taxes on. You'll pay taxes on the bottom line, and you have to pay your own FICA.
Right. What typically generally is the range of percent that people generally claim in terms
There is
of
no,
total
there's
gross?
no general. It's all based upon the square footage of your home office to the total square footage of your home.
And that's another thing is if you're a self-employed person and your net is pretty high, you could put money into a self-employed pension savers credit and get the retirement savers credit also. So that's something when you call us, ask us about putting money into a self-employed person instead of an IRA.
An SEP.
Yep, SEP. So
Is it too late to do that for the 2023?
Nope. That's one of the great things about the pension plans. They let you do it up till April the 15th on the IRAs and the SEPs.
Yeah, so you ask a really good question.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy New Year, Tracy.
All right.
All right. And then we have text here.
Yeah, we've got a text. Let's see. Wishing and praying for our extended family, including our military.
Your ministry.
Our ministry. Okay, well, military
No, it
too.
says military. Okay.
Okay. To have a blessed and we always pray for our military. To have a healthy, prosperous, joyous, wonderful new year. Thank you for all you do. And Dan from Kenmore, Dan F., we love you.
We agree. We absolutely agree with that, for sure.
And then there's a text that says, I called the comptroller of New York State for unclaimed funds, and she went and checked, and she sent me a check for over $4,000 in a
Yay.
week. You guys are a blessing to Western New York. Well,
that's
you guys are a
great.
blessing.
Okay. And then we have another one, right?
Yes, Chris, you might have to help me with this one. We
You want me to review?
We love your show, so helpful. Go on.
This year, I withdrew $2,000 from my IRA and had $600 withheld to pay taxes on it. Since withdrawals from IRAs are considered income, it's taxable in New York State. I'm curious, if we move to a non-income tax state such as Tennessee, will my future withdrawals from my IRAs, which will be considered income, be taxable or tax-free?
Okay, so if you move out of a taxing state, then the amount of to a non-tax, like for instance Florida, then you'd only pay federal taxes, not New York State taxes or that state taxes. Now, it just so happens that Tennessee does not have an income tax, but they do have a tax on interest and dividends. So you're still out of the woods if you take money out of an IRA.
Yep. You agree, Chris?
Yep. So you got to be careful where you're moving. Got to understand each tax law. But New York is not going to come after you for money you take out when you don't live
Yeah,
here.
for instance,
Right.
I was talking to one of my clients, and she has a New York State pension, and she's going to move to New Jersey, and I think
That's not a help. I'll
no,
tell ya.
and so she doesn't get the advantage of having the tax-free money for that New York State pension.
Yeah, because you think New York is bad.
yeah.
Go to New Jersey.
Yeah, but the thing is, she wanted to be with her kids and her family, and so
Yeah, well, there's nothing like being with family, but from a tax standpoint, New Jersey is really a big tax state.
yeah.
All right, and so we're looking here now. It's the 30th. You got the 31st. Another thing you can do here, and I know I'm going to do it this evening, is look at your charity to make sure that there's not a charity that you'd like to contribute to. If you're somebody that itemizes, this is a great thing for a tax write-off for you, and it's a great thing for the charity. I know charities all look forward to this time of year because people seem to be more generous towards the end of the year. Right?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, let's go back to the phones. We'll talk to Liz. Hi, Liz.
Hi, Esther. How are you?
I'm good. What's new?
Good. What's new? I don't know. Not a whole lot. But I had the radio on, and it just was spiking my interest as I was listening. And so my question is, I've been retired for the full year of 23, only collecting my Social Security and waiting on taking any money out of my 401k. So I haven't had any of that any money withheld for taxes. So when I go to file my taxes, the only income I have is my Social Security. Is there a estimate as to what taxes I will owe?
All right. How old are you, Liz?
Well, I started taking Social Security early at 62.
All right. So if your only source of income is Social Security,
It is, and also my Roth, but that I know doesn't count towards
right?
income.
So you're going to be very happy you don't owe any taxes, and
I
quite
don't?
frankly, you don't have to file a tax return.
But she should have taken money out of her IRA, I think.
Well, she should have, but she didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why do you think I should have
And
taken
only
money out of
because
my IRA?
She said
are
why-
you
she said
are you
why.
single? Are you single or married?
Single.
All right, so like the first $15,000, actually in your situation about $13,000. The first $13,650 is going to be tax free. Had you taken like $10,000 or $12,000 out of your traditional IRA, it would have been tax free. Kind of using that standard deduction to offset the taxes on that money, you would have gotten tax free.
Didn't know that.
But now you know for
So-
next
Now
year.
you do.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. So that can be something that I start to do?
And
if
that's
I
right, in
choose to?
2020, 2024.
And you pay no
Now, here's the
taxes.
thing. 2024, your standard deduction is still going to be very high. But in 2025, the Trump tax cuts go away. And standard deductions are going to end up, if they don't change the law, half of this year. So you want to make sure in 2024 you take advantage of those higher standard deductions.
Right. And I
And
do,
go ahead.
Liz, who's your health insurance through right now?
It's through the marketplace.
Okay, see now.
Oh, that's different.
Yep, because now you definitely got to call us and we got to work up the figures what you can take out because it could impact what health insurance you have through the marketplace.
That's
For
right,
next
because we
year.
wouldn't want
Yep.
you. We wouldn't want you to
because it would-
ruin
Right, right.
your deductibility, your non-taxability, or contribution.
And
from
now
your
that
health
you say
insurance.
that, now that you brought that up, I wasn't even thinking about that. That was part of my decision making, was figuring out what health insurance would cost if I were to take all their money. And the way that I'm living right now is totally fine.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
again,
yeah.
it doesn't hurt to make the phone call. We don't charge, so
Yeah, well,
I would suggest you give us a
not for
jingle.
nothing, I do come to your agency.
Oh well, thank you. But again, we very happy to help you. But
Okay.
you're looking at a horse of a different color. If you can this year, do your health insurance through the marketplace and take money out. That's a win-win situation.
And then, Liz, do you have the essential plan, which is like 20?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, because I was thinking you would have to file to recollect or to amortize. What's the right word I'm looking for?
Amortize.
No.
Yeah, you don't have to file.
Reconcile.
Reconcile. That's the word.
So I don't need.
could not sleep last
this year I
night.
don't need to file at all.
If you're
I
only
don't
on
think you
Social
do.
Security,
And the
no.
essential
do.
plan.
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you were on a plan that you had to pay like a couple of $100, you have to reconcile. But since you're on the essential plan, you don't even have to reconcile.
Okay.
And you didn't work at all in 2023?
Nope. I retired in October of 21.
Okay.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
Okay, Liz. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Same to you. Thank you so
All right,
much.
thank
Bye bye.
you. I'm Esther Goulias, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. Text us at 716-8030930. Looks like people are texting. What else do we have here?
Yep. And so we'll do the break after this. It says, question for the tax lady. My wife and I are divorcing. I always overpaid the IRS. This year, how does filing taxes work when we are separated and not divorced?
Well, you get to file jointly if it's in your best interest, and you actually can allocate your refund, because I know our program will tell you exactly how much refund, part of the refund goes to you and how much to your former spouse. If that would be the best way for you guys to file, that's the way you should file, because until you're legally divorced, you still have the right to file a joint return.
Right. And I would look, like Esther said, come in if you are on speaking terms, come in together. We can work it out married. We can work it out married filing separate and see what the best answer is
But
for you.
even if you're not speaking, because many times what I'll do is I might see spouse A, and spouse A says, I don't want to be in the same room with her. Okay. And then we get spouse B that comes in separately. I mean, the important thing is what's the best thing for your family, right?
Exactly.
And so we'll work it out either way.
That's right.
Okay, and I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back on the other side with your questions, your comments, and your regrets and your resolutions.
The bills make me wanna shout, kick your heels up and shout, throw your hands up and shout, throw your head back and shout. Come on now, the bills are making it happen.
I am hoping, oh my God, with my, is it Miami tomorrow?
No, it's New England.
Oh, I know
tomorrow,
that's even
then
worse
Miami
because,
the next.
because we lost to New England the first time.
Yes.
Yeah, but Miami's playing the same time. Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, that we're playing tomorrow.
Yep. So, lot riding at 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Ugh, I almost hate Sundays because of that. Do you know that? Because it drives me absolutely bonkers. But anyway, I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on the cell phone. And we have Mr. Bill that's been holding. Hi, Bill. How can we help you?
Hey, Esther, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you.
Happy
and
New Year to you too, sir.
Thank
you.
So, I was able to get a CD. I actually texted the text board. I don't know if it showed up there or not, but remember I was asking you, I think last week or the week before, and I found, believe it or not, Bank of America actually had a featured CD for like 9 months for like 5%.
Oh,
good for you.
Pretty good. And actually also I found that Discover Bank had 3 of them. They had like a 5.3, 5.2, and 5 for like 9 months, 1 year, and 18 months respectively. So
wow.
I jumped in
Oh,
on
the
that
18 months is really good. If you could get it for more than, the 9 months, it makes it really good because you can tie up some of your money at 4.5, 4.75 for 5 years. And looking at interest rates coming down, that would be a smart move.
Yeah,
was
and
interesting
I got to
because-
tell you, I didn't get your text, so I don't know why it didn't come through. I apologize.
Oh, okay, no problem. Popular Bank actually had like a 5.67%, but I didn't jump on it, and then it dropped down to 5.55, and then it went to 5.45.
Right.
And like I think
you
even
got to really jump on those things when you can. And I
Yeah.
will tell you, we don't know. It looks like inflation is calming down, and if the Fed reduces interest rates, you're going to watch them pull those CD rates back like crazy.
Yeah, probably. Lending Club, I don't know, I never heard of them, but they had like a 5.55%
Yep.
still.
Yep.
But I figured I had like a regular account a little bit with Discover Bank. I thought it might be easier just to keep it there than to try to switch it to a different one for
Yep.
a couple of tenths of percent.
Well, good for you.
He sounds like such a smart guy.
You are a smart cookie. I will tell you, those of you that are still dealing with 0.005% in your checking account and you got $100,000 in there, it's not good. You can really make some money right now using CDs.
And then
So,
for the resolution part,
Yeah.
I know that I'm not like an official spokesperson, but I volunteer with auditny.com, and I know it's going to be an election year. All we really want is just a fair election with
Yep.
the laws being followed.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I would just encourage-
That is a good resolution
That is
or
a-
hope anyway.
Yeah, so I just tell everybody, go to auditny.com, or if you're driving like me and you can't remember auditny.com, you can remember Blink Once, which is what I made up with a little slash between the words and a dot after the B, so B.link/once, and it explains everything there and gives a nice little summary. So
Well, thank you
have a great
very
year,
much.
and,
I appreciate that.
And that was
for all the work you do.
that was audit one.
auditny.com, auditny.com.
Audit. I'm
Okay.
texting it to myself.
All right. Hey, thanks for calling and Happy New Year.
Thank you.
All right. Now we're going to go to Pat. Hello, Pat.
Hi, Esther. I'm actually from Amherst. I just have a question about the taxes that they're charging in Amherst. If HOCO puts a 3.3 cap on state tax, how come the local government can go over 11.4%?
You know, I don't know. It's not an income tax thing. I really can't say, and I'm sure there's an explanation. But I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll get you an answer by next week.
Thank you very much.
That doesn't
You're
seem
welcome,
fair.
You know,
Yeah.
but I mean, we do a lot of state returns, and we do see, you know, like Ohio has the state tax, they have a school tax, and they have
That's
where you
right.
work tax.
Right, city
So,
tax.
Yeah, the
Right.
city tax. So local government seems like they can do whatever they want, unfortunately.
Yeah,
and, you know,
that's true.
the last caller was always talked about interest being received. I know we got a credit card thing in the mail, update on your account. The maximum rate right now is now 31.9%.
On your charge cards.
On your
right?
charge cards.
Right.
Which is crazy. I mean,
Right.
they say...
Well, especially at Christmas time, people
Yep.
put it all in their charge
You know,
cards.
they say
and
loan
that's why they
sharking
want
is
their
illegal.
refund come tax time, because they have run up their credit cards.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
Right. All right, we got some text here.
It says, please explain the Roth 5-year hold and 10% fee. I am 70 years old. This was a rollover this year from my 401k.
Okay, well,
Rollover
explain
to a
it.
Roth.
Well, a Roth, you are supposed to keep it in there for 5 years, and if you don't, then the appreciation can be taxable, and there can, if you're under the age of 59 and a half, there can be a 10% premature withdrawal penalty.
Right. But if this was a rollover from a 401k
You'd have
to
to
a
pay
Roth,
taxes.
Right.
then that contribution / rollover is all taxable the year you put it in. So you got to be careful
Some
with that.
clarification on that.
Right, and I think the best thing to do anytime you hear us talking, because tax law is very confusing, give us a jingle. There's no charge for us to help you. We're real people answering real calls, and we want to help, right?
Yes.
That's right.
All right, we got something else here?
Please explain your comment, the essential plan, and not needing to reconcile. If your income exceeds the limit for your
Affordable Care Act.
Affordable Care Act and you had the essential plan, does that still mean you don't have to pay anything back?
Yeah. With the essential plan, there is no reconciliation. Where it could come into play is where you are on the essential plan because you said your income was only going to be like $23,000. Your income all of a sudden was $80,000. The next year you go to get it, they're going to say, nope, we're not going to fall for this again. We're not going to give you the cheap
but they
insurance.
still didn't make you pay last year back, though.
Right. They
And
still-
that's what is very interesting. So you basically could be telling a fib. They're going to give you the essential plan, and you don't have to pay it back.
Yeah.
$20 a month, right?
Yep.
Okay, we got something else here?
Yeah, it says KeyBank has a 5% for 11 months. Northwest has 5.10% for 10 months. And then if my CDs don't mature until 2024 and 2025, but interest is accruing compounded daily, when do I pay taxes on it?
As you earn it. They're going to give you a 1099 at the end of the year based upon the income that you have earned, because it's available to you, and you pay taxes as you earn it.
You and Chris have always disagreed on that topic because I've asked you guys both that question, and you guys have.
I say,
Well,
when,
I can only
when
tell you I have
it comes
CDs,
due.
and I get a 1099, and I have to pay taxes on my interest that I receive.
Well, see, there
Okay?
you go.
I can only tell you what
You got
happens
to
to
ask
me.
the bank where you're at. How's that?
There you go.
Okay. A couple other things that if you have interest income, you have to understand that that's fully taxable. Some people might want to look at dividends as opposed to interest, because interest is taxed at whatever tax rate you are, plus the state of New York tax rate. But if it were dividends, you'd pay at a much lower rate. So that's another thing that you might want to think of as you're doing your planning.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
So anyway, I'm Esther Gullius, the tax lady from EG Tax. If you have questions, you can give us a call at our corporate
Hey,
headquarters
Esther.
at 632-7886. Yes, ma'am.
Any regrets for 2023 for you?
I have all kinds of regrets.
Anything that you're...
Nothing that I can tell people.
How about wishes for 2024?
Like all them donuts I ate. You know, pardon me?
The wishes for 2024, goals?
Well, I mean, I pray that my health that I stay healthy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That my brain continues to work. I like that.
Yeah.
that I can be a blessing to people that need help.
Yeah.
I mean, really, those would be the things that I want to. I want to be somebody that is useful, and I want to make myself useful, and I want to help people. That's my goal.
You want to be relevant.
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 Right.
Yeah. Going back to the gym, I like to do strength training, and I stopped doing that for a while because I had surgery. So, it sounds cliche, but going back to the gym and all those things that you mentioned too,
Yep.
and we live in a wonderful country, and just to helping people is just the bottom line. And so we are very fortunate where we live.
It's so sad because there's so many things that people could do to help themselves, but because of something like it, way back at the beginning of the show, somebody said that they don't want to procrastinate. Procrastination can be such a terrible thing because it stops you from moving forward. Yeah. And I feel like life is a river, and we all ought to be moving forward, or else we stagnate.
Yep.
And you don't want to stagnate, right?
No.
But one thing for sure is EG Tax is there for you. You can give us a call anytime. We want to help you. And if we don't know the answer, because we are not omnipotent, we certainly will find out about why the state says 3.8% and the city's going to charge you 11% for taxes. I mean, that's just part of what we'll do. So until next week, I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax, with Tiffany Fabian, Christopher Fabian. Oh my God, it's another Bills game tomorrow. Go Bills. And until next year, Happy New Year.